everyone. Today we'll be doing Year 3 Science 1.2. We did 1.1 last video, and this video we're going to do 1.2. I'm going to share the screen. So this is the chapter 1.2, and we're going to start. We're going to say what the leaf, flower, stem, and root of a plant do. We will make a model of a plant, we'll draw some root plants, we'll do some research about leaves, and we'll stay safe while doing the practical work. Things that are alive do the following: breathe, move, have young, make waste, need food and water, and sense the world. That was basically lost yesterday. And we're going to just follow from that because we're learning about living things, and this is a good example. What do the parts of the plants do? The roots. I just highlighted all of them. I'm just going to put the key points. So the roots observe water, and also it holds the plant in place, but to make it easier, we're just going to write absorb water. So now let's do stem. The stem basically holds the plant up, and also it transports water. Transports water around the plant. Okay, now we're done. Let's do the leaves. The leaves, they make food for the plants because for plants you make their own food using a process called photosynthesis. They need sunlight, carbon dioxide, which is CO2, and also water. They get their sunlight through their leaves because their leaves are facing up and it goes through, and then they get water from the bottom, from the roots, and then they get this oxygen all around. And the flower, it makes seeds or reproducts, which is a very important. Our keywords are absorb, allergic, transported. And I'm just going to talk about a bit of this. This plant only needs one stem to hold many leaves, which are needed to make lots of food for the plant. The plant makes lots of flowers, so there will be many seeds. The plant needs lots of roots to hold it down and find water in the soil. Now we'll be learning some roots, stems, leaves, and flowers. Some plants are very small and some are very big. Most plants begin life as seeds and then they grow. This is a perfect example of what happens. Wait, let me just do that. Now you can see it. Okay, so this tree was once one of these seedlings. So this is the stem. These are the roots. You can see like a very old tree can have roots coming out of the ground because they're so thick and strong. And this is the stem, but you wouldn't really, for this tree, like you would usually say trunk or bark, but in this case it's a stem. These are branches, and you got twigs, flowers which reproduce seeds which spread out, and then they grow like here. You can see how small this is compared to this, and you can see this is much lighter and much fragile. And then you got the leaves. Look at the diagrams below to see what each plant part does. In sunlight, each leaf makes food. So the leaf makes food. That's its job. Seeds are made by the flower. You see the bee? The bee is very important to plants and flowers because they pollinate it on their little legs, but not on this picture you can't see, but they carry pollen from other plants to bring here, which is very important. So seeds are made by the flower. So the flower does basically the reproduction part, but for like plants like trees, it's not or like vegetable trees. You will get like a flower, but a small flower, and it will grow into a fruit. So you can say fruit or flower. They both are the same thing. The stem holds up the plant and water moves inside the stem. So that's it, because it transports water there. Yeah. And then the roots hold the plant down so it doesn't come out and gets water from the soil. And also gets nutrients if the soil is very has lots of minerals and nutrients. All parts of the plant need water. It's very important. But mostly it gets it from here, but they transport everywhere. Without water, the plant would die. Same with the animals and humans, because we can survive a long time without food, but water we cannot. We cannot survive without water for like 2 days. The roots hold the plant down. They also absorb the water from taking it from the soil. The water is then moved or transported up the stem to all parts of the plant. So the stem is very important. This is an activity. You will need a potted plant, soil, a larger pot, newspaper. If you're allergic to plant pots, tell your teacher now. Wash your hands if you have touched the plant or the soil, because some people are allergic to stuff like it could be the fruit, the leaves, the soil, the roots. Over the newspaper, take the plant out of its pot. Take care not to damage the plant. Carefully observe the roots. The roots are very fragile. If you have sharp nails and you try to touch it and you accidentally cut it off, it will probably grow back, but it will take some time. And you have to draw what you see, and you must be very careful because you can see you can see the where I'm pointing. I'm gonna just color it yellow a bit. The stem is very fragile. You could if you hold it like here and you do it a bit too strongly, you could squeeze it and then it could break in half. And let's get. And does your plant need a new pot? If it does, replant it in a bigger plant pot. You can see this is a tiny one, and so the roots can expand. You can already see, like at the corners, the roots are already coming out. So the roots are everywhere. It spreads, so it can spread bigger. We can eat the parts of plants. Some plant parts are safe for us, for people to eat. They're supposed to be eat, but I think they made a mistake. So eat. Some parts can be poisonous. The safe parts are the root, stem, and fruit are very good for you. We only eat safe plants to eat. Which plant parts here are safe to eat? Never eat parts of wild plants you find. Always check that plant pots are safe and clean them before you eat. Because wild plants, they're not treated, and also it could be really bad for us. So we shouldn't eat them. We're gonna show you examples here. So I see this grapefruit, bananas. Yeah, this is part of like the flower or the fruit, but there's some like potatoes. Um, there's some like potatoes and so like okay, pause. I can see in the fruits there are apples, pears, grapes, oranges, lemon, strawberry, cherry, pineapple, bananas, tomatoes. Fun fact, tomato is actually a fruit. Melon, pomegranate, red currant, black currant, capsicum, red and yellow peppers. Capsicum is basically like red and yellow peppers, and aubergine, or aubergine. But we also say eggplant. It's this thing here. It's that fruit there. It's pretty good. I don't really like it that much, but it's okay. Leaves, I see some lettuce and cabbage. The seeds I see are beans and corn. The roots are carrots, and onions, and also potatoes and sweet potatoes and stuff like that, and also like garlic, but they didn't put in the picture. And also the stem is the artichoke and asparagus. Those are basically like stems. You can also get like sugar cane, like that. Question number 1. Do you know a plant or plant pot that is dangerous to eat? Learners may know of local plants that have poisonous roots, stems, leaf, or fruit. Examples you might mention are potato leaves, cherry tree leaves, oleander leaves, rubber sap leaves, sago palm leaves. These are actually very, very dangerous. Like there was this one time we had a bunny. Some of you might know. It was our first bunny. His name was Snowy. We had a big like sago plant tree, so we didn't know it was actually poisonous. He ate it and he died, which was actually really, really sad. These sago palm trees are like very dangerous, but they're very beautiful. And here in South Africa, we see them a lot. See, these are sago palm trees. They're really pretty. They kind of look like a big palm tree. We have them a lot in South Africa. In our house we had like 2. The leaves are very poisonous because it has that seeds in the middle. Very, very dangerous. See these seeds that make it's kind of really sad. And like those also cherry tree leaves, they'll you can eat the fruit, but you can't eat the leaves. And why they're dangerous? Because all parts of the cherry tree, including the leaves, seeds, blossoms, contain cyanogenic glycides, which produce cyanide when metabolized. Cyanide is highly toxic and can be fatal if eaten. I'm going to show you guys a picture so you can see. So you can see the leaves. They're highly toxic, but you can eat the fruit. Cherries are amazing fruit, but their leaves getting started. And we're going to do this model plant. You can do this at home, and then when we post this, you can put this in the comments so we can see. And I'd love to see this. You will need paper, card, a straw, string, glue, sticky tape. If you don't have a straw, you can have like paper and roll it up into a thin roll, and then you can use that as a straw. That also works. That's perfect. Making a model will help you learn about plants because usually if you can see it, you learn better. It's like if someone tells you something and you don't know absolutely how it doesn't look like, and you're supposed to write about the exam, you don't really know how to do it. And like in my school, when we do NS, we have 2 exams. One is the written exam and one is a practical. They usually ask us to write about something, a project that we do, and then we have to demonstrate it, and then we also have to write about that. You can also touch the model and observe its parts. You can see that's supposed to be the roots, the stem, the leaves, the flower, and yeah. Use the materials to make the model plant with flower, stem, leaves, and roots. Label your model. Write a label that to go beside your model. Your label should explain how water enters and is transported through the plant. How am I doing? So you can ask this question while you're doing this. Does your model look like a real plant? If you have plants at home, you can like recreate it. It would look super cool. And here's some questions. You need a book about plants, the internet, and some leaves. If you don't have a book about plants, that's okay. You can use the internet. You can Google it. It will be fine. And some leaves. Do not eat the plants you find. Wash your hands after touching any plants. Tell your teacher if you're allergic to any plants. But you can tell your parents if you are allergic. And Marcus here, well, he's this boy here. He's a little boy here. He's asking some questions. Which is the biggest leaf? That could be like I feel like it would depend on your farming. but your leaves could be, I'm just Googling it now. Okay. The raffia palm has the largest leaves, and we're just gonna check that. I'm just gonna press on this. These are their leaves. It's basically like palm leaves. They don't look like leaves. They look like a stem with little leaves, but they're actually considered as one leaf. So that's the biggest leaf. And it says, why do some leaves fall each year? The reason is the weather. Like if there was wind, it would definitely fall off because the leaf is already dead. And it also could be like things eating it, like giraffes or like birds and that stuff. And also in fall. We say autumn, but some people say fall in America. And I think the why they named it fall is because from the trees the leaves fall down, so fall. Are all leaves green? No, they're not. There's some leaves that are orange, but they were green, but they're not all green. Is the top of a leaf the same as the bottom of the leaf? I don't think so because the bottom of the leaf has a stem, but probably. Look at different leaves. Talk to a friend or to your siblings or to your parents. Think of some new questions about leaves. Look in books or on the internet for information that answers your questions. Always take care on the internet. Use the school safe systems, or you could ask your parents to go with you because not everything on the internet is safe. Make a post about leaves to show what you found out. This is a this was a science inquiry because you were researching. How am I doing? Pretend that your friend is a plant or your sibling or your family. Use a piece of paper to label their feet and roots and more labels for the stem, leaves, and flower. Say what each part does. This will be a very fun activity. Look what I can do. I can say what the leaf, flower, and stem and root do. I can make a model of a plant. I can make a drawing of plant roots. I can research leaves using books and the internet. I can stay safe while doing practical work. And that's the end for today. Next week, we'll be doing 1.3, which is plants and light. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.